Guys, and welcome back to my channel, Ineffable. So today I'm going to be talking to you about how to revise GCSE mathematics. Now today, I'm back onto my normal camera, so I hope it's not blurry, but nevertheless my advice and my content of what I've got to give to you is going to be amazing. And I'm changing how I edit my videos and how I put out my content, so I'm going to try something new. I really hope that you enjoy it. And this is exactly how you can get a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6. And if you're aiming for a 5 and a 4, this is how to get the grade that you want in GCSE mathematics. It's been a highly requested video in my comments, so I'm coming around to do it. The lighting's rubbish. I'm in my dressing gown. I just got back home from school, so I'm sorry about the rubbish lighting. I'm sorry about how chilled I am. I'm just coming to give you guys this content before the end of February because it's what you deserve.
Look how much sauce to you. You finna talk back. You got that good. I'm finna spall day. She got some bad friends. She need to holler at me. I put them all down. I throw a ball.
It's important that you ensure that you cover the basics for mathematics. Often, when you're doing higher, you're thinking about vectors and, other stuff that's like the grade 9, the grade 8 type of stuff. And sometimes you forget about, the simpler stuff like the stem and leaf diagrams and, things that are more on the grade 3, the grade 4, the grade 5 level. And sometimes it's like, yeah, I can do the advanced maths, but I've forgotten how to do the basics. So if you are doing higher GCSE maths, 100% start from the basics. Don't start from it, but just make sure when you're doing the high level stuff that you're including it in your revisions so that you're not leaving it out and you're not in a position where, yeah, I can do maths, I can do the highest level of maths, but I've forgotten the basics type of thing. Part of the importance is, making the notes in class, but your notes are not the be all or end all. So definitely when you're in year 11, make notes as you go through. But once you get to the point where you've learned everything on the specification, you don't need to worry about notes whatsoever. I personally think that. And for the maths, and another thing I need to say about maths is it's important to know the formulas. So you can Google maths formulas GCSE and they have the ones you need to know for the foundation paper and the different exam boards and the ones you need to know for the higher paper. I personally find that exam questions and doing exam papers is the most useful thing you can do when it comes to maths. Yeah, I need to know about this and that and that, and yeah, it's all nice writing notes, but when it comes to the actual exam, unless you've got worded questions or questions that require an explanation, which happens every now and then, not too often, it's more about the practical, the writing, the working out. So at this point, you're at the end of February, the beginning of March, you should be following what you're doing in class. And separately from class, I used to do an exam paper every Friday. Do an exam paper every Friday, or just do lots of exam questions. Type in vectors, GCSE maths, exam questions. There's going to be loads of things, whether that's worksheets, exam questions, PDF documents. There's going to be loads of stuff online. For GCSE maths, similar to science, but science you can use textbooks. GCSE maths, literally, Google is your main resource. Googling exam questions, printing them out, practicing them. A really good website is called, ignore my laptop because it's broken. A really good website is called Pixie Maths. Pixie Maths is really good because, as I'm looking here, from what I can remember and what I can see, it's got resources for teachers, resources for students. It has exam questions. It's divided into higher or foundation. It's just got 100 questions, whether that's in a document or it comes on a PowerPoint, it doesn't matter. It's got hundreds of exam questions. That is literally all that I did. There's not much to maths. You either get it or you don't get it. So if you don't get it, try a bit harder. Try to understand. Have a look at a few textbooks. Ask your teachers for help. Your teachers are your biggest resource, whether you get it or you don't get it. Your teachers are your biggest resource. Speak to like your peers, like the person in your class that's good at maths, or the person that sits next to you that understands the topic that you're not necessarily sure about. Literally. Exam questions. Phone a friend or talk to a friend, talk to a teacher. Ask questions and more exam questions, more exam questions, more exam questions. You might not like this video. You might think, wow, like you're not getting into it enough. And I can understand that. But literally for mathematics, all you got to do is do the exam questions. Use Google, you know, type in like vectors, type in 3D Pythagoras, type in things that you're not quite sure about, SOHCAHTOA. Type these things in, look at the notes that are online, do your exam questions, see what you got wrong, go through the mark schemes so that you know how, you know, the examiners are awarding you marks. So sometimes you still get a mark even though your working out is wrong, but for like consistently doing the right steps with that wrong working out. Look at the mark scheme, mark it wrong, mark it right. The things that you get wrong, try it again. Or ask your teacher to give you the similar question in a similar format, but to just change it. So instead of it being Karen, it might be Bob. Or instead of it being £15.95, it might be £16.95. Or instead of it being a recipe of 2 and you divide the stuff by 2, it might be a recipe for 6 people and you divide it by 6 to get to the, you know, the ratio of 1. So literally, exam questions, use Google, talk to your teachers, and go through the mark scheme and just do practice papers, exam questions, practice papers, exam questions. And then as you get to about April, you got to start doing like these questions to time. And if it's 2 marks, give yourself 2 minutes to do it. A minute a mark, and that's all. For maths, you have to accept it's something that you either get or you don't get. If you get it, well done, like keep going. If you don't get it, it's not the be all or end all. All you got to do is work harder. But nevertheless, whether you get it or you click with it or not, keep working harder, because you might actually have that light bulb moment where, yeah, everything's making sense to me. I understand everything that I'm being asked right now and all those types of stuff. So, yeah, that's my advice to you. Just before May, so like the beginning of May, 2 weeks before your exams start, I've got a paper about how to act in an exam hall setting. A video about how to act in an exam hall environment, because it's quite different, and things that you got away with in the mocks or things that you might not realise can get you disqualified actually can. It's not necessarily just about bringing your phone in or stuff like that, or having the back of your calculator. It's also stuff like finishing your sentence, even if it's 10 seconds after the examiner tells you the exam is over. It's like what to expect, because it's one thing, you know, doing your mocks and being in a hall and having your teachers supervise. It's another thing when you've got external people from the exam boards that have come to invigilate. So please look out for that video. And yeah, so I will teach you about how to act within an exam environment. But literally, if you do as many exam questions as you can, you will get better at maths. You will understand the principles more. And if there's anything on the exam paper or anything about a question you don't understand or a topic, all you got to do is go back to one of your textbooks, go back to your notes, or go back to Google and look at the notes online and just see how they do it. YouTube is a really good resource. There's people that do the exam papers on YouTube. So if you type in the code at the top of your exam paper or the year or whatever, I guarantee you that exam paper has already been done by someone on YouTube, and they have a step-by-step tutorial. I found that so helpful. If it was times like it was 7 p.m. and I was at home doing an exam question or an exam paper, and I didn't understand, and I didn't quite understand the mark scheme, just by going through it and listening to someone's voice or looking at the steps and watching someone do the steps really helped me. And that's what I did to get a good grade in maths, which has enabled me to go on to study economics. And that's all you got to do as well. So I hope you found this video helpful, and if there's anything that you have questions about or anything that you want a bit more specific knowledge about, like, please do not hesitate to comment down below, and please check out for my English exam. Please check out for my English language video that's going to be coming out on the same day as this maths video, because, you know, it's going to help you. And yeah, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was useful, and if you have any questions or any comments, please don't hesitate to comment down below. Thank you.